Hello, and thanks for joining me today. We're going to be looking at some statues from North America. These statues are hard to recognize at first. It seems to be some type of, it's cliche or whatever, but some type of lost art. It's just very vague and hard to see. But if you look closely, you can see the natural inclusions of the stone here. You see the lines for this pupil of the eye, and it's as if the person's looking away from us. So you can see their forehead, the edges of their face there, and you'll see small little indentions and details. I may be pointing out a different eye than what you may be seeing. The idea is that there's several different portraits all over this stone. See the larger circle right here that I'm outlining with the feather? It's a faint image, but these are what we're looking for. We're looking for these levels of detail in these stones. As you can see from looking at the whole stone, the rest of this is hair. This is a common theme, and I'll go ahead and show you a couple more of these statues here. They're 3D statues, and there's different portraits and images on them, and the way that you look at them and you tune them in is you tilt them and you shine different shadows on them and different lights, and that helps you to see the portraits that are within these. Many times there is just an outside image like this as well, though. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few more. This is the back of the small girl statue. This one still has a very defined painted eye. I'm going to move our camera up just a little bit there. So if you look closely at this painted eye, you'll actually be able to see the circle. It's a petroglyph on a stone. This is just like cave art, but this is a piece of rock which they painted on and put markings and things on. So if you look closely at this, you can see the circle and the little lines and the ridges on the top of this eye. There's paint and colors all over this, and you can see how it is a portrait, this being the cheekbone and perhaps the jawline down there. There's different images within this. You can see how the rest of this turns into hair. And there's different eyes as well, so you may be seeing circles. You see these very defined circles right inside of the stone here. I'm going to adjust just a little bit there. Okay, so these are indicating the eyes that are within the stone. And as we tilt it away, remember those details are there. And as we tilt it away in the shadows there, you can see how these paint markings come out even more defined. They come out as triangles and circles and lashes and lines in there. There's markings and petroglyphs inside of these. I don't understand the symbology completely. I don't know exactly what's happening here, but I know that there's little carvings of eyes and things all over these statues. So, and they are clear pieces of quartz. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more. You guys have seen this girl statue before. This is all on this one statue of this girl. This girl is very easy for many people to see, of course. Her eye is glowing right there, her pupil. You can see the colors of her eye there. This is her eye, her nose, her little nostril, and her mouth. It's her chin, her Adam's apple. You can see this little poke out right here. This is another portrait coming out here. So what we do with this art is we tilt that out of the way, and then you can see the portrait of the person. And as we pull it away, different distances help to see this art. So you can see that the rest of this is all hair. This is all of her hair back here. Pretty neat, right? Let's look at a few more. Go ahead and put this one down for now. This is another one of the same themes here with the same side profile. And in the sun, you'll be able to see some of the polish and things on here. So you're able to see the carving for maybe the eye here. Of course, the chin, and again, just like on the other statue, a small little Adam's apple poking out there. You can see how these are statues. You see how this is hair pouring down. I'll try to keep it focused for us here. Sorry about that. So you may also see these small little cracks in here. These cracks may indicate edges of faces as well. So if you're looking at this as being the chin, and the mouth maybe somewhere in here, and the nose, and then the eye. There's actually a carving in there for an eye at the very edge there. So we're going to look at that eye, and we're going to look for eyelashes and things that may be on top of it. I believe I see a wisp with little lines in there. Of course, these are painted, so this quartz is yellow. I'll go ahead and flip it over so you can see the other side of this. This is all painted opaque in black. And of course, there's other portraits and things on here on this side. Fortunately, the shadows aren't really set up for it, but let's see if we can zoom in to see perhaps some of the features. That's just too dark. And that's the purpose of this being black. I think that there's a reason. It helps out in fire and different suns, or different lights rather, and in the sun. So anyway, guys, sorry it's getting a little bit long here. I just wanted to show you guys some of these shining eyes that can come out in the sun here with these portraits, and hoping that you guys are able to recognize these statues for what they are. There's a little more going on with these than what meets the eye. Here's one more, and our sun's moving away, so I'm gonna have to kind of adjust us just a little bit here and try to get us a little closer. There we are. So we looked at this one last video, and I want to kind of take another look at it in the light here so you guys can see it a little better. I did kind of promise to show you how you can see the petroglyphs through the crystal, and I'm going to go ahead and show you that the best that I can. It's not easy, but so the sun hitting on the clear spot there, you can see how it shines through in the black paint on the outside. So what we're going to look for is etchings and markings and diamond shapes and crystal shapes, and I'm seeing a bunch of different markings and things already, but can't make out what any of it really is just yet. I believe I see a big, if we're just looking for carvings and things, I see a big carving for an eye, so possibly a big bird right here. But there's so many things on these that it almost just looks like a regular rock, almost, until you start to look at it. Now with the shadows the way they are, I'm going to go ahead and point this face straight up, pointing this way, because that's going to help out with some of these portraits. If I put it like this, you won't be able to see it, so you can kind of see what's going on here. Whenever we tilt this, you'll be able to see how these portraits on every single edge, how there's going to be an eye and a little ripple for lips, and on every edge you'll find that as you tilt it. I'm going a little fast, but you see these little shelf eyes, and then you can make these little 3D faces, so you could poke out big noses and little bird heads right here. This is all facing upwards. So this is just to show you, like in the sunlight, I need to really set it up so you guys can see, but you see these little headdresses and these carvings for eyes and the chin. You see how the headdress goes over, you can see these carvings on here. As I flip it around, you may be able to spot some more. There's going to be a lot that you'll be able to see on this. This stone is extremely complicated and complex. Has many different faces and images. Has stories, I guess, of people, you know, of their families or of their tribes. We need a history. We need something to, you know where we came from, to know where we're going. And these guys knew that. So that's what this art's all about. Anyway, back to regular portrait mode here. You guys saw last time how we found this beautiful bird on the face of this, and explained that that's why these portraits aren't exactly smooth, so we can see the carving for the eye, the circle, and how the wisps away there. There's going to be different eyes for this portrait, but you can see how it resembles a human portrait. And then right here we see a rough spot. And if you zoom in on that, you can see that there's a little bird printed on there. He came out better in the last video, so check that one out. Different shadows and in different elements, different things come out better. And then it's like once you see these things, you can't unsee them. So there's a little line in here for his beak. There's his beak and his little eye right there. And he's got a round head. The rest of these could be feathers or other things, but there's a little bird right there as well. As I said, I'm not seeing him very well in this one, but the difference between this shot and the shot in the last video is night and day. You can see it very defined. So just like in this one, you can see the eye better on this shot of the video just because the light is in a different direction. It takes that much familiarity with these types of stones to be able to learn this style of art. And you can see these same motifs that we started with here with these women with the hair that comes back.